Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL. It is Tuesday, it is 8 o'clock, which means it is time for some Div 1 action. And this week it is round 8 of season 14, coming to you from the Singapore Marina circuit. Right, so the track conditions look a little overcast, but it does look like everybody's out on dry tyres, so we've got a dry qualifying at least. So the Singapore Grand Prix, a tricky high-speed street circuit, similar to Baku, similar to where we were last week, Vietnam. That's Vietnam, not Thailand. But presents its own set of unique challenges. And this is going to be a very long and tricky race for the drivers. So who have we got on the lap first? Who's furthest out? Looks like one of the Williams. Potentially, so let's go find those. Is it Wesker? It could be Wesker. Wesker's the off first, so we'll go on board with Wesker then. So last time out we had our first ever visit to the Vietnam circuit in Hanoi, and it was Dutch Tricks who came out on top in a tricky wet race, and he will be hoping to continue that momentum, so we'll go on board with Wesker for a lap of Singapore. So here we go, down the start finish straight, revving the engine out, down to third gear, clips the apex nicely, and a very easy turn 2 into turn 3, drift out to the outside, and then power down this short curve straight, using the curve on exit and entry, and then onto the DRS straight. One of the best overtaking opportunities, got this high speed kink in the middle of it, the drivers to watch out for, and then the heavy braking zone into 5, clips the curve nicely on the inside, runs out to the curve on the outside, and comes a series of slow 90 degree comes a little bit away from the apex there for Wesker on that one. Is he feeling the pressure of having the on board? Short blast down this straight, angles slightly, and then throws it into the apex quite nicely there. And this tricky curve on the inside, watch as the road narrows, and they go over the bridge in this very difficult braking zone. As you turn in, car will be unsettled, but he hooks it up quite nicely. A short blast second DRS straight, again with a bit of a curvature in it. Braking zone down to second gear for the right hander, don't run too wide there, the walls can catch you out on the outside. And again, another braking zone as you're turning, got to get the car straightened up to make sure it hooks up. Let it curve on the inside there. Short blast and then down under the grandstand. One of the unique features of this circuit, a little bit away from the apex there. Picked up the second part nicely though. And into the final chicane, plenty of curve on both sides, wall comes at you quickly on the right hand side. Put it all nice and tidy. Throws it into the penultimate corner, round the final corner, and our first flying lap is a 34.7 from Wesker in the Williams. Adamaka goes in behind him at 35.3 as Scuba goes at 34.7, so both Williams drivers almost identical lap times. So it's at 33, sorry, and then City Posh trumps them all with a 34.1. Aaron goes a 35.1, so second off his teammate's pace onto the podium. He was bragging about his record around here. He is the most successful Div 1 driver around this circuit, apparently. So watch out for him a little later on. However, a 39.5 is probably not representative of his pace around here, so we'll expect an improvement later on from Connor. He currently holds P7 behind Dan Morris, who made his debut with us last week. And an apical performance, came home in the top 10. Let's see if you can pick up the Ferrari of AJU. He was having a promising run last time out. Unfortunately, he picked up a speeding violation under the safety car. He was running very strongly as well until that point, so he'll be hoping to keep that form up. Comes down over the bridge. Tico, there's Tico. Takes the lap, he's coming around towards the end of the lap. He has invalidated though, so he will not be posting that lap time. Back on board with AJU. Comes into the final section of the lap. Short straight now down as they go under the grandstand. The final chicane. He's trying the medium tyres in, so different tyres being used. It's around the final corner, and AG goes P5 and a 35.2. Look at what tyres over the end. So he's the fastest of the medium shod runners. Top 4 currently all on softs. We have got Sway on a outlap. So Sway unfortunately became a cropper last week. In the chat already we've got Lennon Stevenson, who's currently sat in the pits. Maybe stop posting in the chat then and get out on track and put some miles on your car. And TTG Coreboy, of course, one of our performance races. Evening to you. Also, thank you, Michael, for... Yes, I thought my commentary on Thailand was excellent last week. It was an excellent race as well. Not that any of you saw it because you were watching the Vietnamese Grand Prix, obviously. And so, first set of flying laps in. So we're going around to start a flying lap shortly. So far, Untouched Tricks has been out, but not set a time. I wonder if he invalidated as well, because we saw Tico invalidated his laps. He's now sat in the pits on the mediums, so we're going to see. Of course, this circuit, although it's not a particularly tricky circuit in terms of the corners themselves, it is quite heavy on tyre wear. I don't know if anybody remembers races from the last couple of years where the top 3 teams pulled away from the field, but then were just so slow through the first part of the race. Struggled to find themselves a gap ready to drop back into. So it was an interesting race for the top guys. Oh, Sway gets up on the curb there, gets the back end stepping out. Michael C coming with a prediction that Aaron, he reckons, is going to bin it. So not very much confidence there. Adamako has done 3 laps on his medium tyres. He's now popped himself up to 4th, so he's now the fastest of the medium shod runners. Sway has abandoned that lap. So we will pick up the reigning champ, Div 1. That man is Zumpy in the Alfa Romeo. He was also having a good run last time out. Unfortunately, he became a cropper later in the race, but good early pace from one of our Finnish contingent. Looking into sector 2 he comes. Over this tricky section over the bridge. A little bit away from the apex, but not too bad. Carry nice speed. So he comes to the end of sector 2 then. Minute 3.5. Of course, this is his first flying lap, so we haven't got anything to compare him to at the moment. And away the lads, and away the Goy. The Goy Carp is in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is now okay. So 8.5 minutes to go. Something now coming through the Pilswick corner. So he's out of the final corner, and he sets a 1:35.9. Pops him into P8 for the moment. Let's pick up FTRL Panda then. In the Mercedes. Our current... In fact, no, he's not the championship leader in performance anymore. He is now down to P3 after last night's race. Of course, made his return to FTRL F1 at Monaco. What can he do here? He comes down to sector 2, a 1:02.3 there. So we saw Zumpy go through the 1:03. So Panda showing good pace. Not hooking the curb there like we saw Wesker do earlier on through that section there. Giving it a little bit of a wider berth. Looks nice and tidy there. Through the chicane under the grandstand. Into the final chicane he comes now. Bit of a oversteer moment then as he comes out of that chicane into the final couple of corners. And he goes fastest of all with a 34 flat. After your Panda sets the gauntlet to the rest of the field. He takes provisional pole position then with just over 7 minutes to go. Still waiting for Dutch Tricks to come back out. Tico also sat in the pits, so those guys are saving their tyres. They're only going to get one more run in then, so obviously they So it suggests it's going to be a couple of stops in the race. A Scuba does a 34 flat as well, but a 007, and he takes provisional pole away from Panda by just 0.062 of a second. Who have we got on flying lap? Connor's on a flying lap, Lennon's on a flying lap as well. Let's pick up the Hazman. And 102.8 then, so a little bit down on Panda's time, who we were just watching, but still about half a second, so provisionally could go top 5 with this lap if we can hook up the final sector. Dives under the grandstand. Not using all the road there, get to the wall there, plenty of a wide berth. And drives now towards the final couple of corners. Plenty of curve at the penultimate corner, tight line at the final corner. He does go P5 with a 34.9. So sort of lap from Lennon. Now we'll go pick up Connor, who is recovering from a spin, apparently. Unfortunately, we've missed that, so I do apologise for missing that, everybody. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. And so Tico and Dutch finally on their way out into the final 5 minutes then. So our current championship leader, Tico in the racing point, just in the foreground in front of him there. You've got Dutch Tricks, winner last time out. First man in FTRL to have a victory against Vietnam on his... I don't know what you call it, against his name. You can put that in his roll call. Cut wants to know, who do I think will be in the top 3 tonight? Well, it's difficult to say at the moment because obviously we've not had Dutch and Tico set a lap, and you can almost guarantee they're going to be there or thereabouts. Scuba and Panda looking good. City Posh is having good form as well. I do think these two will probably be there. I know these two do like it, so I'm going to put Dutch in there, we'll put Tico in there, and I'm going to go with Scuba as well. So I think Scuba is currently on pole, and these two currently on our screens will probably be in the top 3, but let's see how it pans out. If they qualify in the pack, it could definitely affect their race. So Dutch and Tico both out on the mediums, so they're going for the alternate strategy. And run the mediums in the early part of the race, go on to softs towards the end. And here we go then. So Dutch Tricks and Tico starting their laps now. Dutch into the first couple of corners. Nice and tidy so far. Track would have rubbered in now into the final 5 minutes, so track at its optimum. Of course we won't get sector times because he has not yet set a flying lap. It's the end of sector 1, 26.0 it is. Purple however. And behind him, Tico does not go purple, so Dutch is up in that first sector by the look of it. Now into sector 2. I think Mercedes gets out of his way. Comes over the bridge. And nicely hooks up the corner nicely, nice close to the apex. Now comes to the end of the second sector. We're seeing some 102.3, I think was the fastest so far. A 102.1 from Dutch. He is flying. Tico behind him. There's a 102.6, so Dutch is the man to watch. He's about half a second up on Tico at the moment. Can he hold it together in the final sector of the lap? 34.0 is the current fastest lap, set on the soft tyres. Dutch Tricks on the mediums, just shows you how much pace he is carrying so far. Using all the track there, right up against the wall. He's the first person to really tax the penultimate corner. Out of the final corner he goes at 33.7, that is the fastest lap. He has a provisional pole. Here comes Tico behind him. Where is he going to end up? Tico is invalidated somewhere, so Tico has to go again. So So Dutch Tricks now sets the pace on the medium tyre. That is an absolutely stunning lap. 33.7, 3/10 up on Scuba on the soft. He's on an out lap. So the track is busy. Just 2 cars in the pits now. That's Adamaco and Sway, who are... Well, I think that's probably it from them now. So unless they are... Yeah, they seem to have finished their run. So what can Tico do now to respond? Stay on board with him. Let's have a look at Dutch. Is he going again? Dutch is in the foreground, so we'll just stay on board till he gets into sector 2. See if he is still pushing, or is he confident that lap will do it. Looks a little pedestrian. Yeah, he's definitely going slow, so we'll not watch him. And the man we need to watch is Tico, a 1:05.0. Is he perhaps just regenning? Yeah, he's invalidated this lap as well. Tico needs to get a lap in. So he's definitely just regenning his ERS. He's got one more chance. You can see him really testing the brakes there. He's only got about 50% of his ERS, so hopefully that'll be enough. He winds up. And here we go. Sway has retired from the session, so he is not going to try and improve his lap. Dutch looks like he's going again as well. So Tico, championship leader, currently 15th on the grid, without a lap time to his name. What can he do? Got 4 cars. We've got to get round in the next 10 seconds. 1's made it. 2's made it. Adamaco going to make it. He does not. So Tico is 26.1 in the first sector. That seems competitive. I have a feeling Dutch did 26.0. So we're looking for a 1:02.1. That's the current fastest lap. City Posh has gone up to P2 into the 33s. He goes with a 33.9. Pops himself ahead of Scuba, who's on a lap as well. At the moment, we're going to stay on board with Tico. Rounds the hairpin. This time it is a 1:02.3, so he is close. Got a couple of tenths to find if he wants to take pole position. However, this could put him top 3. But the guys behind him are all on laps as well. Scuba's on a lap, Adamaco on a lap, Wesker on a lap, Dan Morris on a lap, AJU Lennon onto the podium, all on laps as well. Tico's going to be the first across the line, then it's the Ferraris behind him. What can Tico do? He goes only 4th of 34 flat. So behind him the Ferrari's coming round. Onto the podium, goes up to P11 ahead of his teammate. AJU does not respond. Wesker stays P8. Let's have a look where Scuba is. Here comes Scuba at the final corner. He's currently 3rd. He improves, but not enough to jump a position, so he stays 3rd. Adamaco, he's the last one to set a flying lap. Didn't see if he jumps. No, he stays P6. There we have then qualifying over and done with, and Dutch Tricks is on a pole position alongside City Posh Blue, winner of yesterday's performance race, man in good form on street circuits. Scuba will line up on P3 alongside championship leader Tico with Panda and Adamaco. 5th and 6th, Aaron P7 with Wesker in P8 after picking up a 5-position penalty. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Lennon is P9 ahead of Dan Morris. They round out the top 10. So qualifying done. Let's get some podium predictions in the chats, boys. Who do we fancy for the race? Dutch Tricks has laid down the gauntlet in qualifying. It does look like a dry race again. Looks quite overcast, but guys saying no Bottas restarts tonight. Well, thankfully this circuit doesn't really lend itself to that, but you never know. You never know. First prediction in there from Mikey. He reckons Dutch for the win, City Posh 2nd and Panda for 3rd. Goykart reckons Zom, Donzo and Peatman. Also a very good shout. Very good shout. in any order. Now, come on, God, you've got to put them in order. So, once the Josiah reckons Dutch Tico City Posh, so he fancies Tico to come through. Of course, Tico on the medium tyres. City Posh and Scuba, who are ahead of him, are on the softs, so they're going to have good early pace. Are they going to attack Dutch Tricks, or can Dutch fend them off? Of course, will we see a repeat of the 2017 start here as well? So your grid for the Singapore Grand Prix, round 8 of season 14. It is Dutch Tricks continuing his rich vein of form. He will start on pole position in the Renault. Stunning lap on the medium tyre as well. So he will be going longer in this first stint than the two directly behind him. City Posh, excellent lap from him. He is P2, his best qualifying of the season. He's had great pace all season, but we have seen him let himself down a couple of times with some qualifying issues. However, starting on the front row, he has a great opportunity to slingshot into the lead to turn 1. Can he pick up the victory today? Scuba, two-time winner this season. He lines up P3 in the Williams, again on the soft tyre. The man alongside him on row 2, Tico, is on the mediums, championship leader, holding a healthy lead over the man directly ahead of him. So he will be looking to minimise his losses. Can he get on terms with Dutch Tricks early on? Behind him on row 3 is FTRL Panda in the Mercedes. He is starting on the softs. And he shares the third row with Anamako in the McLaren, another one starting on the softs. Good qualifying from him. Aaron, P7, might be happy with that, might be disappointed. He has had good pace this season. I think he would have hoped to have been challenging the top 5 at least. But not going to happen from P7. And he's alongside his long-time rival, man who beat him to the Div 2 title in season 9. That is Lennon Stevenson in the Haas, again on the softs. Fifth row is Dan Morris in the Renault, second outing for him. Good qualifying inside the top 10. As comes the predicted pit stop strategy there, showing the 2-stop. Soft to medium, medium. And he shares the fifth row with Sway in the Mercedes, who's had a very consistent start. Of course, it went a little bit wrong for him last time out, so he'll be hoping for a return to form. He's starting P10 on the softs. Behind them, the 5 cars who've got free choice of tyres. Onto the podium is starting on the mediums. Seems to be the way to go for a couple of the guys ahead of him. Behind him, AJU, his teammate, is on the hards. So the only man on the hards is the Ferrari. Behind him, Westcott, after taking that grid penalty for something a misdemeanor we didn't see. He's on the softs. Of course, he qualified inside the top 10. Graham on the mediums in the second of the Racing Point, and Zumpy bringing up the rear, also starting on the mediums. That rounds off tonight's grid. So we get the position change up and we get ready to go. 31 laps. We've got 4 lights, we've got 5 lights. Out they go and away they go. There's a good start from Dutch Tricks. Scuba's had a good start from third. Dutch coming over the cover. I think wheel banging between City Posh and Scuba. They make it through. Tico has held on to P4. Aaron's had a good start. He's already up to 5th. He's had a demon start. Adamako has gone backwards. Been jumped by Aaron and Lennon. Panda's also had a shocking start. Down 3 positions already. Sway up 1. They filter down the straight for the first time. To the braking zone. Everybody's sorting themselves out. And Dutch Tricks getting the jump. Holding on to the lead. City Posh and Scuba and Tico. So your top 4 have held their positions as they started. Big movers on lap 1. Aaron and Lennon up 2. Both had a great start. The 2 behind them, Adamako and Panda, had poor starts. Sway and Dan Morris have swapped. AJU, despite staying on the hard tyres, up a position onto the podium, has had a poor start. He's down 2. And Zumpy has jumped Graham. So Dutch Tricks already nearly got a second over City Posh. Trying to break that DRS. Starting on the medium there, so suggesting a medium, soft medium, or medium to hard. Which strategy will we think? I think the 2-stop seems to be the way to go. Dutch Tricks is off and running. City Posh, Scuba and Tico very tightly bunched. Battle for P2. Tico will be just hoping to not... Oh, Sway's already picked up a penalty on the opening lap. City Posh is still there. The game is just telling me he disappeared as he lagged out. Not quite sure what's going on there. He's definitely still in P2. The game's just having a bit of a glitch. So race leader is still Dutch Tricks. Graham now on the move. Ooh. The game's having a big glitch moment then. Wesker looks like he's ghosted as to Zumpy. I don't think they are. And there we go, seem to have sorted ourselves out again now. Right, so Dutch Tricks leads by 1.5 seconds. He is off and running already. Flying away from City Posh and Scuba on the soft tyres as well. So despite having the quicker tyre, City Posh and Scuba are not able to hang with the pace of Dutch Tricks. He does like the circuit. Tico, you can see in the background there, P4 right on the back of Scuba as well. Another one on the medium tyres. He's got a nice gap back to Aaron, so he's not under any immediate pressure. He can just look after those tyres. He knows he'll be going longer than the two in front of him. Coming through, Aaron behind him. Great start from him, up 2 positions. Aston Lennon, so those two shot past the guys ahead of him. The big losers were Adamako and FTRL Panda down 3 from P5. He's now P8, so didn't get a good jump. He's got his teammate all over the back of him as Adamako picks up a penalty as well now. So already drivers picking up time penalties here. Dutch Tricks sets the fastest lap of the race of 39.3. Swaves a little bit wide there at the final corner. Dan Morris now all over the back of him in the second Renault. So we've got the two Mercedes with the Renault right in their wheel tracks. Behind him AJU on those hard tyres, so the only man on the hards. He's holding off Wesker, who's up 1 position. We've got a challenge for P2. Scuba down the inside, City Push hanging on around the outside. Just about hangs on, but Scuba looking racer. Here comes Tico as well to get himself into this battle. Scuba trying to drive alongside. City Posh is a little bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment, and coming up behind them quickly, Aaron, Lennon and Adamako. The 3-car train very quickly becoming a 6-car train. Dutch Tricks is away and gone. 3.8 seconds after 3 laps. He is flying at the front. City Posh defending hard, but he's now just backing them up. Scuba's got a potential switch back here. Gets the driver off the corner. He's got the inside for the next one, and he'll take the position. So Scuba up into P2. Good move there from him. Set that up nicely. And now Tico all over the back of the AlphaTauri. And now he's got Aaron, Lennon and Adamako on the back of him as well. So, oh, big slide there from City Posh. Tico trying to get down the inside. Couldn't do it. And that held him up. I think Aaron went into the back of him there, potentially there. If there's no wing damage, Lennon's got to run. And Adamako's got to run on him. Into the pits goes Sway. He looks like he's picked up some wing damage. And this train is starting to get bigger because Panda and Dan Morris and AJU and Wesker are very quickly joining the back of this. In the background, Lennon and Adamako very closely matched. Adamako pops out with the DRS open now. He's down the inside. A little bit of wheel banging there on the apex. Both went over the curb. Lennon picks up a penalty for multiple warnings, so penalties racking up already. They've just held each other up a little bit, and now it's put Panda on the back of them, so they've just given Aaron a little bit of breathing room. And while we're watching that, Tico has jumped City Posh. Looked like it was for the DRS down into turn 4. Turn 5, sorry. So Scuba got a bit of a break on his 1.3 seconds ahead. TK now up to 3rd. The man in the lead, Dutch Tricks, is 5.5 seconds ahead after just 4 laps, so those medium tyres are definitely the ones to be on at the moment. Scuba trying to give chase, now he's got clear of City Posh. At the moment, Dutch Tricks continuing to pull away. Mike has just compared himself to Sway, and Sway is the faster, smoother version of him, and he uses less wings. Yes, that's Aaron and AJ. No, it's AJ didn't pit. Aaron pits, Adamaco pits, Lennon pits, Dan Morris pits. So soft tyre runners getting off those tyres early. Looks like they are going off very quickly here on the full fuel tanks. As Tico now closing in quite quickly on the back of Scuba. He's halved that gap. He's in DRS range. He has not been close enough this time around. And then, so of those who pitted, Lennon going on to the mediums, Aaron's onto the mediums as well. And Amako's gone to the hard tyre. Sway's on the mediums, and Dan Morris onto the hards as well. So, a couple of people using the hard tyre. Tyre wear is quite high around here. Tico now all over the back. Oh, Scuba DRS will pop open. Is he close enough for a run? Maybe not. He looks to the inside. Scuba locks the front right, but not close enough this time. See Bosch just dropping away a little bit now. And you go back to Panda, who's now holding up a little train. It features AJU, Wesker, and onto the podium. With Zumpy trying to get on terms with them as well. He's battling with Graham. Racing point. And behind them you've got the guys who stopped: Aaron, Lennon, Adamaco, Sway, and Dan Morris. Now does Scuba pits, so again the soft tyres not lasting long at all. He pits. City Posh as well. Yeah, City Posh is in. AJU will come through. Panda into the pits, as is Wesker, so everybody getting off those soft tyres for just 5 laps. And that leaves Dutch Tricks with a 7.6 second lead after just 6 laps. In fact, we're only on lap 6, so we're not even 6 laps, and there's 5.5 laps, and he is gone. Dutch Tricks in imperious form as Sway sets the fastest lap, so there is speed coming from the guys behind them. Tico now has 7 seconds to try and bridge if he wants to get on terms with Dutch Tricks, but he would only be losing a couple of points to him, 1 for the pole position and 1 for the position on track as it stands. But obviously we've got the different strategies playing out now. So the guys he was battling with, Scuba, Aaron, City Posh, now on fresh medium tyres. So they will be closing that gap, so it's going to ebb and flow a little bit. Ferraris have had a good start, obviously they're on the alternate strategy. Well, AJ now up to P3, teammate onto the podium P4. Zumpy and Graham continuing to battle. They are 5th and 6th. We've got a battle going on. Aaron has jumped Scuba. So Aaron, who was running P5, has jumped Scuba, who was P2. So that undercut has worked very nicely for Aaron. It's a very strong undercut here. We saw that in F1 last season with Vettel pitting early. He had a massive undercut. That's what gave him the win. Scuba, having been P2, has now got Lennon all over the back, and Scuba's on the hard tyre. Lennon on the mediums. But Aaron now sets the fastest lap with a 39.0. Takes that away from Sway, who is right on the back of Adamaco. His teammate very much in his wheel tracks, so he has now passed his teammate with that undercut as well. Now Graham and Zumpy have swapped positions, so Graham getting it done with the DRS. Some love for Zumpy in the chat there. Just seen him go down a position though in this battle with Graham. Both of them on mediums from the start. Wesker picks up a penalty, so the penalty's really racking up now. And Lennon has jumped Scuba, so Lennon then on those fresh mediums, making hay while he's got the grip. He has jumped Scuba. He's now got City Posh closing in on him. So has he put the wrong tyre? I think starting on the soft tyre, he's not going to get to the end on those hards. So he's going to be going for a late stop for softs, you would imagine. We shall see Posh now with a time penalty there. So latches onto the back of Scuba. Into the pits comes Zumpy. So Zumpy's pitting early. Has he picked up wing damage? Seems early to be getting off the mediums. Staying on board with the reigning Div 1 champ. They are changing the wing. Yep, so he has picked up some wing damage. Going on to a set of the hards. Adamaco has now got both Mercedes right on his tail. Panda has got back ahead of Sway. City Posh lining up Scuba. He's got a very good run. DRS is open. He's going to go to the outside and gets that done quite easily. Medium tyres looking like the ones to be on at the moment. So what does Scuba have, if anything, to respond? Adamaco continues to hold off the two Mercedes behind him. They're both on the mediums. He's on the hards, so kind of a replica of what we've just seen with Scuba. Trying to hold off cars behind him on a faster tyre. See, Posh is very quickly latching himself onto the back of Lennon, but he's bringing Scuba with him. So is Panda close enough for a move this time? Not quite that straight, not quite long enough to launch an attack. Oh, and Tico pits and picks up a speeding penalty. 5 seconds, so that is going to severely compromise his race as he battles for what was likely to be P2. Dutch Tricks was 8 seconds ahead of him as he pitted. Tico's going on to the hard tyre. So, interesting strategy. Oh, Sway with a big moment there as he comes out of the chicane, just about gets out of the wall. Where is Tico going to come out? He's going to come out behind this battle, I think. He is indeed, so he's going to come out behind this battle on fresh hards. Two Mercedes ahead of him on the medium tyres. They're looking very racy at the moment as well. Panda this time is very close. We'll go on board. He's got the run, the DRS is open to the left hand side. That will give him the inside for the next corner. And that's a very clean and easy overtake. Panda up to P9. Now Adamaco is going to have to attack and defend a Mercedes. Sway is probably wanted to follow his teammate through. See, Porsche has caught and passed Lennon. So he's back onto the tail of his teammate, who is 3 seconds up the road. And does Lennon have anything to come back at City Posh with? Both on the medium tyre. City Posh's tyres are 1 lap fresher. Active battle between Adamaco and Sway. This is one of the battle. They've got Tico now closing in behind them. He's on the hard tyre. Race leader pits. Dutch Tricks is in. AJU will assume the lead. And it's now a Ferrari 1-2. So, AJU is your race leader. He started on the hard tyres. On the back of the grid. He now leads the race. His teammate behind him onto the podium. So, a Ferrari 1-2. And Graham also coming from the back of the grid. He is P3, so they've run long. Dutch has come out in P4. But now just 2.6 seconds ahead of Aaron. Dutch is now onto the hard tyre as well, so he's going for a longer middle stint as well. Aaron, you would imagine, will go on to the mediums. That Sway has just got the move done on Adamaco, but he's run wide. And Tico gets through, so Sway ends up going down a position. Is Adamaco slowing to let him through? I think he is. So I think he ran off the track. Yeah, he lets him through. So good sportsmanship there. I think Sway got the move done. Adamaco ran deep to save the position. Tico takes full advantage and gets past the pair of them though. That leaves him. Let's have a look at the gap to the lead. And so Tico now is 14 seconds behind Dutch Tricks. So he is not really in contention for the win at the moment. And Macau looking to come back at Sway, but on the hard tyres you would imagine that he will not have anything for him at this stage. Sway's tyres should be good. And he's now got Wesker closing in behind him, he's also on the hard tyre. They are 1 lap fresher. There we go, we'll just spread out a little bit at the moment. I've got the race leader, he's on 10 laps on these hards. Get a nice view there of the right rear. Dutch Tricks now starting to close on Graham, who currently holds P3. That gap is just 0.7 of a second. And Aaron also just chipping away at Dutch's lead. So he's on slightly used medium tyres, but the gap is just coming down ever so slightly. So can Aaron interfere with Dutch Tricks' race? So you imagine that he's going to make short work of Graham on fresher rubber. The pair of them are now right on the tail of onto the podium, so Dutch has got 2 possible overtakes ahead of him now. He's got the DRS, but so does Graham. So he can't utilise that this time around. I'll have to wait for a mistake, or till possibly the start of finish straight, as Aaron continues to chip away that gap that's now under 2 seconds. Dutch will be looking in his mirrors. He's got AlphaTauri getting larger and larger. Now, how much longer do these two stay out? Onto the podium carries on. Graham peels off. So that's 1 overtake he doesn't have to make. Dutch is not close enough this time for onto the podium into turn 1. Aaron now just 1.1 seconds behind. He's nearly in DRS range. I don't think he's going to get close enough this time around, and Dutch is probably going to survive. He's going to get a DRS from onto the podium. You'd imagine this would be a fairly easy overtake, although no overtake onto the podium is easy. Defends as hard as he dare. Oh, he's going to take him wide. That's a big half spin, just about gathers it up. Dutch Tricks has to go wide. And through goes Aaron. And he is now right on the tail of Dutch Tricks, so as expected, Connor making it as difficult as he can do. Came back at Dutch Tricks at the apex, took them both wide, had to save a big moment, and let Aaron through, and Aaron is now within striking distance of Dutch Tricks. Does he have the tyre? Kind of 6 lap old. Dutch Tricks only 1 complete lap. In the background you've got City Posh making a move onto the podium. That was a little bit easier. Behind them you've got Lennon, Scuba and Panda. So Panda has now hunted down Scuba, who is coming back at Lennon slightly. Behind them there's Tico. He's of course got that 5-second penalty hanging over his head. A little bit later on. So does Connor peel off this time yet? So onto the podium Pitts. Dutch Tricks now having got some clear air has put a bit of time into Aaron, so he's out of DRS range. The battle going on between Adamaka and Sway, so these two continuing to battle. Looks now as if the hard tyres are starting to come back to those who are on them against the medium tyre runners, so having passed Adamako, Swain not pulling away. And now Adamaka's coming back at him, and Wesker is also closing in. Dan Moss has gone to the soft tyre then, so he's had another stop for a wing. And Scuba are now very close together, as is Panda, so we've got 3 cars within a second. And then on those mediums, probably a little bit past their best now. The hard tyres on that Williams. Now in the purple zone. He's looking to find a way back past the Haas. He has got a very racy looking Mercedes on his back who has caught these pair. AJU continues to lead. And hard tyres, what is his strategy, I wonder? Going round again, so he will lead another lap. Gap back to Dutch Tricks is 4.8 seconds at the moment, as Dutch continues to just chip away. And keeping Scuba at arm's length. Doing the DRS range, Panda now right on the back of Scuba. Not close enough. Tico closing in behind as well. So gap between Dutch, who was the race leader, and Tico, who was second, is now just 9 seconds, so he has made some good time. Scuba closer, but not close enough. And he is now looking, trying to get back past the Haas, who passed him earlier on when the tyres were fresher, but the medium's now starting to go away. Our tyres now look to be the ones to be on. I think it's a lot of traction areas that kind of just wears the tyres down, especially the rears. But Lennon doing a very good job. Oh, Panda got close there, and Tigo got close to the back of him as well. He's in DRS, but he's not close enough again. Again, Panda there got very close to the back of that Williams, and now he's got Tico all over the back of him. You know, Tico does not like to hang around. If there is a sniff of an opportunity, he will be down the inside. Sway picks up the penalty. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That looks like Zumpy. Oh, Zumpy is retired at the bridge. Now, is that going to be a safety car or a virtual safety car? Safety car. We've got a full course safety car. Into the pits comes Tico. So Tico's gone straight into the pits there, as has Lennon. Whoa. Panda there very nearly into the back of Scuba. So, what does this throw up? There is a safety car. So AJU still the race leader. Is this in his pit window? Graham pits, Adamaco pits, Wesker pits. They're all taking this opportunity. They're all going onto the medium tyre. What does Graham go onto? He's onto the medium as well. So those boys taking advantage of a free pit stop. Has this just fallen very nicely into the lap of AJU. So race leader, he'll probably come in this time before his stop for the medium tyres, because the guys who are currently 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th have all just stopped for medium, so they think they can get to the end. Lennon is also pit, he's in P7, he's come out just ahead of onto the podium. So Lennon's in a strong position as well. AJU, you would imagine, will peel off into the pits here. When he gets round there, he's coming under the grandstand now. He is now very much in the grandstand seat, because he'll pit now. You've got to imagine the Dutch Tricks will have to pit here. AJU peels off as expected. What does Dutch do? Dutch carries on. Bowl call, Aaron's in. So he'll take this opportunity. City Posh is going to come in as well. Scuba's going to carry on, interestingly. Panda pits. So Dutch Tricks is your race leader, but he's going to have a lot of cars on fresh rubber. Yep, so AJU's going to come out in P3 here. That safety car has worked out absolutely perfectly for him. Makes his pit stop. He'll have a couple of laps behind, lap or two behind the safety car. So less laps to do at racing speed. That'll save the tyres. As Tico picks up a penalty for track limits under the safety car. Not ideal. He will of course have served his 5-second penalty, so that's his The only penalty he'll now have. So Dutch Tricks and Scuba, they must fancy the chances to get to the end on those tyres, because everybody else, apart from onto the podium who just pitted, has stopped for the medium tyre. Apart from Panda, who's now on the hards. City Posh is also on the hards, but they're now on fresh tyres. Dutch Tricks has only got 5 laps, but he's going to have to do some excellent tyre management from here on out. And somebody in the chat there, clip the right hand side of the wall, then the left hand side and straight into the safety area. Yep, very easy to do. I fully expect there to be numerous examples of that tomorrow. I might be one of them. I really do struggle with that section, Zumpy, so I definitely feel your pain. It is a very tricky section. Of course, you're coming into a braking zone on a bend, which really unsettles the car. Safety car now coming round, so the field have caught the train, so Dutch and Scuba have given up that opportunity for a free pit stop, which is interesting, especially Dutch. The Dutch would have been P2 had he pitted. He would have been behind AJU, but he's decided not to pit. So all these laps behind the safety car are definitely going to help him and Scuba, who are on, say, partly one tyre. Scuba's got 10 laps on his tyres. There's still 14 laps to go. Can he get to the end on those tyres? We'll soon find out. Different strategies and so. This definitely throws spanner into the works in terms of the strategies. And what have Dutch and Scuba played this right, or have they played it wrong, is the question. So, while we've got this lull in proceedings behind the safety car, we'll just go through what's coming up on FTRL for the rest of this week. So, tomorrow night we are back here at Singapore for the Div 2 race, 8 o'clock. Do tune in for that. It's bound to be exciting. Of course, our erstwhile foreman, Captain Chubbs, has been promoted to Div 1. Unfortunately, he's not here this week, so of course he's for family issues, so hope he is doing okay, and we look forward to seeing him on track with the Div 1 boys next week. And that means Nexus Cats has replaced him, so Nexus Cats coming down to Div 2, hoping for a resurgence of form. And then Thursday and Friday, our GT Sport Leagues are back with a vengeance. So Thursday is GT2, 8 o'clock, and it is the Porsche Carrera Super Cup. Everybody in equal Group 3 Porsche 911 cars. Of course, it's a series that supports the Formula 1 calendar, also supports the British Touring cars in the UK. Everybody in identical cars. So who is going to prevail in the 4th season of GT2. And then on Friday, GT1 is back with our British Touring Car Themed Championship. 7 teams of manufacturers, all adorning BTC spec cars, or manufacturers who've represented in the British Touring cars over the seasons, looking magnificent in liveries dedicated to the cars that have run in the series. So back on Friday, can T Smith make it 4 in a row? Will Pagani or somebody else end that run? We are about to go racing here though. Dutch Tricks doing his best. Bottas starts by the look of it. He's going to back up as long as he can. Now he goes. He gets the jump. Scuba is going to be under threat here from AJU, you feel. AJU's had a good run. Lennon also having a good run. AJU to the inside of Scuba. Not close enough this time around. Lennon on the attack of Aaron. So these two renewing their rivalry. Lots of moving shakers in the background. Adamaka going past Sway. And Aaron now on the tail of AJU. So AJU, Aaron, Lennon, and all looking very strong at this stage. Scuba might get away with it because there's no DRS this time around. Any moves going made? That's Tico, who's now in the pack. Adamaka down the inside of Panda, so it's got both Mercedes. So Adamaka on a charge. Oh, he's coming there hot. Oh, nobody lost any wing. I think they got away with it. Tico He's up in the pack. Meanwhile, race leader Dutch trying to build that gap. All the medium tyre runners are stacked up behind Scuba. Well, he ruled that decision not to pit. AJ looking very racy, but of course without the DRS it's going to make it a little bit harder to make an overtake. He needs to get really good exit out the corners. Scuba driving very well, of course a two-time winner this season. We saw him magnificently look after his tyres at Abu Dhabi to pull off a one-stop strategy. Is he trying to do the same here, I wonder? The safety car would have helped him with his tyre wear, but a long way to go. Still 13 laps of this race to go. Dutch Tricks are now 1.2 seconds ahead. JU going to be looking for a wave by, but Aaron and Lennon are right on his tail. City Posh looking at the podium. Tico as well, all over the back of City Posh. Adamako also on the move, already up 2 positions since the restart. He is flying as well. We've got 2 little packs forming. Here's AJU close to this time. He's had a very good run this time. Scuba's going to go defensive. He's going to have to go around the long way. Well, those fresher tyres going to work. They'll come out the corner side by side. They'll have the inside for the next corner. AJU's up to P2. That's a great move there. Great driving from the pair of them. Tico has passed City Posh as well while we were watching that. He's got a yellow flag for... Looks like Dan Morris and Graham have got together. Adamako past City Posh as well. City Posh is plummeting down the order here. Have a look what's going on here. Oh, Dan Morris has gone. Oh, into the wall goes. Is that Tico? It is. Our championship leader is in the wall and hard. And that is wing damage to Tico. So Tico, oh, he's launched up the inside of onto the podium. Forces him wide. We've got City Posh with wing damage as well. So what has happened there? DRS is enabled. Dan Morris has retired in all of that. Tico in the pits. City Posh in the pits. Onto the podium in the pits. So drama further back. Meanwhile, for the race lead, AJU is on the tail of Dutch Tricks. Scuba continuing to hold off Aaron for now, but he's had a poor exit there. I think Aaron's already got the move done. He has. Lennon's going to follow through as well. So Aaron up into the podium places. And Scuba is going to be ruining that decision not to pit under the safety car. But we now have a very big battle for the race lead. Dutch Tricks is your leader. However, further back, championship leader Tico in the wall and down to P11. So drama for the championship leader. He had a healthy lead over Scuba coming into this. Dutch pulled back a couple of points last week, but still a healthy lead. However, now Tico is going to be losing a massive amount of points to Dutch Tricks. Now AJU on fresher tyres, on faster tyres, but are they going to last is the question. They've had a couple of laps under the safety car, so the wear would have been less than it would have been. Of course, he was leading the race when the safety car came out, but hadn't pitted. Chose that moment to pit. He's come out in P3. He's now up to P2, and he's on the tail of the race leader. So what has AJU got for the FTRL GOAT? One of our new arrivals. Took a couple of races to get up to speed, but he's shown some excellent pace a couple of times this season. Not got the results that speed has warranted. Could tonight be the night? He's had a good run out of 4. Now have the DRS. Is he going to be close enough? It looks like he could be. Dutch goes defensive. We've seen him go around the outside once already. But too hot that time. Dutch sees him off for another lap. Adamako is up now to P5. He's past Scuba. Scuba going backwards on those 14 lap old hards. He's now got FTRL Panda all over the back of him. Now he will rue that decision not to pit. Race leader Dutch Tricks. Reduced on the back of him. Aaron getting closer and closer. Ledden getting closer and closer. And Anamako will be coming as well. Now that he's past Scuba. AJU not close enough this time. Again. DRS pulling him closer, but Dutch using all the track there. Trying to keep the speed up. But he's going to have to do a lot of work to keep these three behind him on the softer tyre. On the faster tyre as well. And they are looking very, very racy at this stage. Oh, but AJU picks up a penalty. Oh, you feel if he can get ahead of Dutch, he will pull away. The question is, can he drop Aaron and Lennon behind him? So this race is now very, very wide open. We come up to the main DRS straight again. Dutch Tricks holding a 0.6 of a second lead at the moment. Can AJU get closer? Good traction out of 3. It's a good run through 4. But you feel 0.6 of a second might be enough for Dutch this time around. AJU will close, but he's not going to be close enough this time, so Dutch Tricks doing very well there through the first couple of corners to build a little bit of a gap. Just enough. Scuba and Panda. Wesker and Sway. So we've got Williams versus Mercedes times 2. A little bit further back. This is for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th Scuba on those 15 lap old hards. Panda behind him on 5 lap old hards, and then behind him Wesker and Sway both on medium tyres, so the 2 hard shod cars at the head of this train. 2 medium cars, their teammates looking for a way through. Look up from Scuba. Scuba holding up tight line, going to be a little bit defensive, but Panda not close enough again. Scuba getting good traction despite being on warm tyres. He picks up a penalty there, just clipping too much curb. Back with the race leader, and we've got 3 for the lead. Tricks leads, AJU second, Aaron now very much there. It's Lennon trying to get on the back of this gap. Oh, Aaron picks up a penalty now. So Aaron now with a 3-second penalty as well. And we just saw Tico take the fastest lap of the race. He's on the soft, so he's going for, well, whatever he can get. At the moment he's looking at P11, a 19-second gap. There's 8 laps to go. Now this time AJU is closer. Is he close enough though? He's got a good run, but again I think Dutch has done a great job coming out of 4. Just to build up enough of a gap. Let's go back to this battle between the Mercedes and the Williams. Here comes Wesker on Panda. So Wesker passes Panda. Now it's Williams, Mercedes, Mercedes. Now do the hard shod tyres let their respective teammates go at this stage? Wesker and Sway on the medium tyres, faster than their teammates who are on the hards. Over the bridge. With your race leader continuing to hold off the advances of that Ferrari, of that AlphaTauri. Lennon has not been able to close that gap. He's holding at about 1.1 seconds. Panda now with a penalty as well. Can't say that I've seen Dutch Tricks pick up a penalty here, so that could very much work in his favour. He'll be wanting to hold these guys back if he can, obviously. It's already on 13 lap old tyres. Aaron now closer to the back of AJU than AJU is to the back of Dutch Tricks. So again, Dutch doing excellent work through the first part of this lap to build a little bit of a gap. So to come onto this, which is probably the best overtaking opportunity, he's got a big lead at this stage. So while they have DRS, they're not close enough to use it on him. And all the while, that tyre performance is going to be dropping away. Still holding off his teammate. As is Panda behind them. So, despite being on the quicker tyres and not finding their way through, Dutch Tricks continues to lead. Chose not to pit, taking the track position. Despite being on slightly worn tyres, he would have been just behind AJU had he pitted. In a straight fight as it is, he's now on harder, older tyres. But he continues to hold them at bay, so he is driving absolutely superbly. Yet Lennon behind him can't close that gap. It's still only about 1.1, 1.2 seconds. Adamako chipping away a little bit, but again not really taking big chunks of time. Aaron getting a little bit sideways there. Through the S's. He picks up a penalty as well there for the penultimate corner. Once again, AJU trying to get close enough to Dutch Tricks, but Dutch is now nearly out of DRS range, so he's having an absolute storming drive here. Okay, though, hanging on to his coattail still. He'll have the DRS again, which will pull him a little bit closer. Dutch with better ERS at this stage as well. Wesker now has passed his teammate. Here comes Panda as well. Panda to the inside of Scuba, down the inside. Scuba going to try and hang on around the outside. I'll have the inside for the next corner. Panda trying to go around the long way. There's going to be contact. Just a little side-on-side contact. Scuba has a bit of a wobble. And that lets Sway through as well. So Sway up, Scuba down to P9. He's got 4 seconds back to Graham. And then 13 seconds back to Tico on those softs, who is charging. But we just feel that he's got too much work to do to get back on terms. Tricks continuing to hold on at the front now. 25 laps in the book. 6 to go. AJ is closer again. He's within half a second. He needs to stay there through this sector. He'll get the DRS down and start finish straight. That'll pull him there closer again, and then he needs to stay there through the first couple of corners. Here comes the DRS at 0.6 of a second as they cross the line. It's now half a second in the background. Adamako very much on the tail of Lennon as well, so we'll keep an eye on that battle. Here we go again. You can see Dutch has got the lead of about 0.6 of a second. 0.7 of a second as they come on to the DRS straight. Here we go again. Yeah, AJU and Aaron both have DRS, but they're not going to be close enough. One man who is under threat is Lennon. Adamako right on the back of him. He's down the inside. Oh, contact into the wall. And Lennon has got wing damage from that. He's lost his left end plate there. The cars merged on the apex of that kink on the straight. That pushed Lennon out and into the wall, so he's picked up some wing damage. So can he carry on for the remaining 6 laps? We shall see. Wesker and Panda and Sway continuing to do battle. Looks as if the medium tyres are now starting to drop away a little bit, and the hard tyre runners coming back at them. So Panda now all over the back of Wesker. Sway still very much there as well. Oh, Dutch Tricks with a big power slide there. Doesn't need to be doing that. That will hurt his tyres. That's now got AJU right on the rear wing of the Renault. It's cost him a couple of tenths. That will put AJU right on his tail. Down and start finish straight with the DRS again. That will pull him closer. He needs though really to be there. But you can see what, again, a great run Dutch has had there through the final couple of corners. Aaron now looking at the back of AJU. Not close enough. Let's go Panda again. There you can see Dutch managing to pull away into the pits goes Lennon. So unfortunately Lennon's excellent run is going to come to an end there, having picked up wing damage. You see again AJU back 0.7 of a second back onto the straight. Dutch is doing absolutely everything in those first couple of corners to pull enough of a gap so that he's not under threat into that braking zone there with the DRS. Lennon onto the soft tyre. It will come out behind Tico pits as well. So Tico's tyres have gone. All of which is excellent news for Dutch Tricks and Scuba, because they will be taking points away in his championship lead. Battle raging on for P5. Wesker leading Panda, leading Sway. Less than half a second covering these three at the minute. Great battling between these three. Let's go a little bit wide there. Oh, Sway picks up another penalty. Panda now looking for a way through. You can see Scuba in the background there, hanging on resolutely. He's got P8 at the moment. Graham is 3.5 seconds back, so not under any immediate pressure. And up front, Dutch Tricks has pulled a second on AJU. So he's now out of DRS range. Now, AJU is going to be looking in his mirrors more than he's looking forward. Unless he can get back onto the tail. Dutch Tricks, you saw how good Dutch was through the final couple of corners. He's been excellent through turns 1, 2 and 3. Gets a great run out of 4 and has been able to defend. And I think now those medium tyres are possibly past their best. Performance just starting to drop away. So despite being 6 lap holders, those hard tyres on that Renault leading the race. And he's now pulling a little bit of a gap. He's now 1.1 seconds. So again, he's out of DRS range. So they come on to this second DRS straight. Have a look at the battle between the Williams and the Mercedes. Wesker continues to hold Panda and Sway at bay. So come off the bridge. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 and a safety car. And Tico is out of the race. Tico has crashed coming out of turn 4. So championship leader is out of the race. Now, what does everybody do here? I don't think you can pit at this stage, can you? Dutch is going to pit. No, he's not. He thought about it. Does anybody risk it? It's probably not worth it with only a couple of laps to go. We might get... Oh, Wesker is pitting. Now, bearing in mind how long is left, were his tyres completely shot? That is going to drop him all the way down. He's out of P5. Might come out in about P9 here. Whereas Graham's in the pits as well. City Posh is coming down the start-finish straight, as is Lennon. They're going to jump him, so he's going to be P10. He's gone onto the soft tyre though, but the question really is, how long is the safety car going to be out for? Now we're on lap 29 of 31, so the field have obviously got to catch back up again onto the podium pits as well. So, has Tico just handed his title rival the race victory? Dutch, they're laying big black lines. Considering those tyres are 18 laps old, is that wise, Dutch? Here's my question. Safety car in this lap, so some of the field are some way back at the moment. Graham onto the podium a long way back. City Posh, Lennon and Wesker should just about catch the train before it starts. They're just coming down to the right hand at the end of that second DRS straight now. The group ahead of them at the next corner. So we're going to have a 2-lap sprint for the race lead. However, this has put Dutch Tricks back under pressure. Are they rightly angry in the chat? When does Dutch Tricks pull the trigger? He's gone. AJ's gone with him. Look at this train then. So what can Dutch Tricks do now to hold back this pack again? The Mercedes looking racy in the background behind the McLaren. Everybody as you were for now. There'll be no DRS for the remainder of the race either, so Dutch is pulling away. He's got 8/10 of a second. Oh, City Posh in the background having a big wobble. Is he going to be a threat from Lennon? He is. Lennon goes through the side by side. And round the outside goes City Posh on Scuba. So having almost lost a position, he's actually gained one. Fantastic move. Lennon trying to find a way through, but he's kind of got Scuba down the inside of him. And ends up losing a position in the end. So Wesker regains a position. Dutch Tricks is pulling away. He's 1.2 seconds ahead, so he's already got the hammer down. Building a gap. Of course, there's been no DRS now, so it's all going to be overtake, traction, and mistakes. A couple of soft tyre runners at the back there, Wesker and Lennon. Graham and onto the podium did not catch the pack before the race restarted. So they're nailed on for 11th and 12th, barring any further mishaps as Wesker goes up ahead of his teammate. So Wesker making some late moves here. He's got so much more grip. What can you do though in the next lap and a half? Dutch Tricks has got 1.7 seconds and he has had an absolute flyer. On to the final lap we go. Wesker is the man to watch. He's the one on the move on those soft tyres. Lennon picks up a penalty there for multiple warnings. Dutch is away and gone. AJU now looking behind him at Aaron. Keep an eye on Wesker as well. He's down the inside of City Posh. City Posh gives it the squeeze. Trying to hang on down the inside, forces Wesker out wide. But Wesker gets the overtake done. Wesker up to P7. Can he do anything about the Mercedes, who he was ahead of? Battle not done for P2. Aaron half a second behind the Ferrari, but Dutch Tricks now 2.7 seconds ahead, so the medium tyres have definitely gone. AGU had one real chance at trying to make that move for the lead. Didn't quite come off. Dutch Tricks saw him off. Since then he never really managed to get back on it. And then, oh, we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That is Sway, I think, has had a moment. It's Lennon attacking City Posh. He's going for a switchback. He's going to get it done, I think, with the traction. He's got the inside for the next corner. City Posh resolutely hangs on around the outside though and saves the position. Great driving from City Posh. But ahead of him, this man has proved me wrong. I said it was a mistake to stay out. He's had the track position. He has seen off all comers and Dutch Tricks is your race winner. AJU crosses the line second. Aaron third. Panda goes fourth on penalties. City Posh goes fifth. Scuba, it's all mixing up, so and Panda is up fourth ahead of Graham, Scuba, City Posh, Lennon, Adamako down to P9, Wesker is P10, Sway comes across P11 and onto the podium, having taken the fastest lap. We'll round off the finishers. So fireworks go off to signal the climax of the Singapore Grand Prix, and he finishes in the back of the Mercedes with the P12. So AJU gets driver of the day, then coming from the back of the grid to take P2, his best result of the season. But it is Dutch Tricks who is your race winner. AJU and Aaron on the podium. So there's your finish then. Dutch Tricks wins from AJU. Both having made just the one stop. Aaron ends up P3 with Panda jumping up to 4th. As the penalty situation played out, Graham comes home P5 in the end there, jumping up with no penalties. Jumps ahead of Scuba, who ends up P6 on those very old hard tyres. That safety car definitely saved him. City Posh P7, having started on the front row. I think I'll be a little bit disappointed there with that. Lennon, what could have been for him. He ends up P8 ahead of Adamako, who racked up a few more penalties. Wesker comes home P10. Sway and onto the podium, rounding up your finishers. today, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is, or was, the Division 1 Singapore Grand Prix. So let's go grab our podium finishers, and let's see how that was for them. So, those tricks then back-to-back wins. I'll wait our podium finishers. And there we have the result then. So Dutch Tricks goes back to back while championship leader retires from the race. Our race winner has joined us. We'll just wait for the other two who finished on the podium. Hopefully they will. It's been a long time since we've got to speak to Aaron as the podium interview, and I think it'll be AJU's first time if he can join us. Congratulations, gents. Well done. Just waiting to see if AJU can join us.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Dutch, mate.
Thank you. Well done on the podium.
If AJU can't join, Lee, just invite Will or something if you want.
Yeah, okay. I'll give him I'll drop him a message in the thingy first, see if he can join us. He won't be joining podiums. Okay, well, we'll get the FTRL Panda in then. Invite in. Alright, so congratulations, boys. Dutch then, so victory 2 in a row, and
Yes.
your championship rival crashing out.
Yes. Yeah, don't know what to say. Pretty happy, of course, but yeah. Shame
So
to see him lose his car.
Yeah, you decided not to pit under that safety car. What was your thinking behind that? Because you would have probably come out maybe about P3 on the track, maybe second if Scuba had gone in as well.
Yes, was 15 laps to go with the first safety car. And yeah, then to pit to mediums, they can't really last 15 laps. It's possible, but just the rear, they went all the way after 10 laps or so. And track position, of course, is very important around here. So I decided to stay out and control the race.
Yeah, we saw you sort of, obviously AJ, you're giving you a lot of pressure for a few laps, but then you were sort of like so good through the sort of first 3 or 4 corners there to make sure you had sort of enough of an advantage down that sort of first DRS straight. I think he only had one really big chance at trying to overtake you, and from then on out you kind of kept him at arm's length there. So what were you doing to sort of, were you just sort of focusing on those corners, making sure you nailed them every lap because you knew that anywhere else he wasn't really going to be able to overtake you?
Yes, I saw him pitting, of course, and knew his tires after 8 laps they really went off. I already knew that because of my own tires. Yeah, just starting the final sector, I think it was, then I start pulling away from him, so the gap was around 6-7 tenths on the straight, and that's not enough on this track with a high downforce if you're on the drive. So I already was managing that gap to stay in front at the end of the straight. Then I knew he would be close, but not close enough to pull it off.
Right, well, that was a stunning drive from you, and that is why I think you are regarded as the GOAT of FTRL. Looking ahead to week 9, then we've got Hungary next week. How do you feel about the Hungaroring?
Normally pretty good track. Really like the high downforce track, same as Singapore. But yeah, just have to wait and see what happens, because I remember sometimes it didn't went really well over there, but everything is possible there, and maybe Tico will be back again then, so it will be close.
Yeah, Hungaroring has often thrown up some of the best races in FTRL, by the sound of it, so congratulations on the win tonight.
Yes, thank you, mate.
Mr. Taylor.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you, mate. Oh,
So that
mate,
was a...
I was. Go on, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, I didn't think this would happen this season. Didn't think I'd be talking to you so soon after a race.
Well, there we go. I say it was a pretty good race from the go. Really, you had a superb start, launched off 2 positions, and then you were sort of always in the mix there. The undercut around here is massive, and that got you a big jump, didn't it, in the first pit stop?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the thing was, I looked at the strategy and thought to myself, well, I knew I was going to commit to a 2-stop regardless. And then as I was approaching that sort of first stop, it was all a bit of a stalemate, and I thought to myself, well, I kept looking on the track and seeing what sort of area I would come out in. And then a couple of the guys around me, I thought the same thing. So I thought I'd dive in a lap earlier than what I was due to, and yeah, I luckily managed to just get out ahead of like Lennon and whoever else came in at the same time. And yeah, thankfully I then had a bit of clean air to run into. Yeah, so no, it was a nice first stop.
Yeah, you and obviously AJ, you pitted for the medium tyres there. How were your tyres at the end there? Were they sort of on the limit, or were they still in sort of reasonably good nick?
Do you know what? They weren't too bad. They were definitely the better race tyre, I think. I know this is the first time I will ever, and probably the only time I will ever say this, but had I have been in second after that safety restart, I honestly think I could have had a crack at Dutch. And I've never said that before, and I probably never will again. I felt fast behind AJ, but the trouble was, everywhere where I was trying to get past, I think he was running a lot more sort of wing down the straights, because he just flew. Even with DRS and overtake, I just couldn't get near him. But had I have been able to get past him in the dirty air through that final corner, which was his weakest corner, every single time I tried to commit to it, I had like a half slide, and I just thought, well, I can't risk it. So, but no, had I have, for whatever reason, been second, I reckon I could have at least had a go at Dutch. Not saying I would have got him, but I think I could have at least had a go at it.
Well, maybe you'll get a chance for next week then. Hungaroring. It's produced what many people argue to be the best race in FTRL history.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it as a track?
Well, I love it personally. I really do enjoy driving it. It's fun, it's technical, and you have to kind of commit to it. And for some reason, I don't know how or why, but my season seems to be going all right. I'm fully expecting it to go downhill at some point, and every week I'm expecting it to be the next week. Singapore, I mean, I've got through Singapore, Vietnam and stuff without DNFing. So if I can just continuously keep finishing where I'm finishing in that sort of, well, what is now a sort of 3rd to 6th bracket, I'll be really, really pleased. The guys in this division are just stupidly fast. So it's, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most competitive Div 1 grids we've had since I've been around. And
oh yes.
But yeah, congratulations on a stunning result tonight. Oop.
Thank you. Can I just say one more thing?
Go
on. Just up yours, Tico, because I'm now ahead of him in the championship. So all the time he's been giving me crap all season, I'm now ahead of him with 5 races to go. It won't last, but I'm going to get it in now publicly.
You remember that bet?
Yeah, up yours, Tico, mate.
If I lose this, 10 euros to everyone.
Yeah, so I just completely unprofessional from a league owner perspective, but I don't care. Up yours, Tico. I'm having this for a week. So
well, we look forward to it. Look forward to the resurgence next week and see how that one comes off.
I'm going to drop the mic now. I'm off.
Did Mr. William join us? Guessing not. He has not, no. Right, okay, well, we'll leave it at that then. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. As I mentioned earlier, we are back tomorrow for Div 2 action from Singapore, so do join us for that. There will probably be safety cars aplenty and accidents even more so. So do join in for that. If you can help by donating to the Ferrari Front Wing Fund, because my teammate is a liability and we're going to need some money for spares, so please do message the FTRL Twitter if you can donate some money towards Mikey's front wing habit. That would be much appreciated. And you can see how many he gets through tomorrow night, and also how many chicken wings Goy Carp can destroy in a race. So do join us for that, but thank you very much for joining us tonight, and good night.